VOX Radio.
VOX Radio.
VOX Radio.
VOX Radio.
You're listening to VOX Radio.
Hello, all you beautiful, wonderful, amazing, inspirational beings out there. My name is Suleiman. I'm here with the VOX Radio here at EmergenceEarth.com. I'm recording live at the Emergence Earth House here in Detroit, Michigan. Today's Thursday, February 20th, 2014. On today's show, we're going to be having Liz Cox of AskLizze's here to talk with us. A Astrology update by Benjamin Bernstein. And then, if we have time, a song by our dear friend Kashi Light. So, go ahead and bring Liz on the show. Liz, are you with us right now?
I am with you in the now moment. Please, thank you so much for having me.
Oh, yes. I am very honored and very humbled that you would agree to do this. You're very amazing. I remember we met at 3DL. How was your experience at 3DL?
Wonderful. Wow. Yeah. 3 Days of Light this year, 2013 was amazing. It was a fantastic community and a real learning experience, actually. It was a lot of hard work put into the best possible mix of, using all of our resources and all of the tools that we had in the very beautiful land that we had access to there at Hot Springs, and we did the best that we could to bring an experience of metaphysics and an education of spirituality and spiritual knowledge and energy work to this space, and just really grounded it in with each other. And it was a very heart-centered connection. So 3 Days of Light was a magical experience.
I know AskLizze's, your organization, you do, I saw New Age Concierge. I saw that term on there. Could you please maybe explain what a New Age Concierge does?
I think I'm still discovering.
Yeah.
But thank you for asking.
Yeah.
I think I'm
You're
still
welcome.
discovering what that is. It was the best way to describe what I do. So AskLizze's is a network for the conscious arts. I saw a very real need for there to be more marketing, more promotion, more organization to the information of the conscious arts, that being really diving into how we share and acquire tools and resources to learn about metaphysics and to learn about all the different modalities that are out there in general. So a New Age Concierge was just a term that I phrased to bring about awareness, to answer questions, and to promote and manage the information of intuitive arts and divination, for example, is one of the main categories. So AskLizze's in itself is actually 16 different categories for something that is so immense and large and really at the same time unknowable, because oneness is the goal, right? To just expand and create and be one with each other. But then also, as individuals, we have this free will, and we have whatever it is that we're here on a soul level to do and ignite and fire up that passion. And there are a lot of people out there that stay in their heart and stay in that manifestation of love and divine inspiration, and they don't necessarily have a lot of marketing or promotion, and so we needed to expand. I saw a need to expand out and reach more people with energy healing. And so this was the creation of AskLizze's, that we needed somebody to organize it and put it out there so that we could expand past our communities that are already active actively conscious and integrated with energy work.
I can really appreciate somebody who goes through organization. I've personally realized that organization and communication are so key to having the flow, go smoothly instead of like waterfalls everywhere. And I don't know, something like a rough ride. But somebody who organizes is very important role, and it's something that I honor very much, and I think anybody who does that very much. So I was looking at your website, Ask Lizzie, and I was going around. I saw that you do bookings, and if somebody wanted to come to Asheville and have a very spiritual, surreal experience, maybe they wouldn't know how to go about doing that. They could come to you, and you would. I'm not quite sure on this, but maybe you book the whole day's event for them and hook them up with the right people.
Yes, yeah, that's a very individualized spiritual tourism itinerary building is basically what it is. See, the services, that people offer that really are divinely inspired, bringing people to them is a very personal experience, and so, out of the services that I offer, booking is one of the main ones, booking, and then, flyers and flyer distribution, and then also, event planning and event management, because it's wonderful to create the network of all the people that are doing these wonderful things, but then they need places to provide those services. And so it became apparent that that event creation and management would be required, and as well as, building spiritual tourism itineraries. So yes, absolutely. I'm already actively doing that for people where if they come to visit the city, we have an intimate conversation of what they're looking for, what experiences they are seeking or pursuing. And most oftentimes it's kind of fun because I ask them to release any expectations or conditions that says this is going to help me and this is going to be the one thing, because really and truly the path is within. Right. So it's this really fun experiment of seeing how to explore and how to dive deeper, and what experience externally inspires someone to go internally, so that we can actually live in a more loving and free world. So it's my talents thus far, or at least what the universe is asking me to do, is to walk in a very intuitive, heart-centered space in an extremely organized way. So it's always been, as soon as I I want to say cross the veil or are in a true flow, it's always required that I'm working in that space. So we go there together. As one of the services is of AskLizze's, so we go through that and we move through together to the highest and greatest good of that person and their own personal path.
Right, that's absolutely beautiful. I love the way you express yourself too, but it is very difficult thing to be going through this whole shift in thoughts and perceptions, and so to have somebody there to help guide you and to be there with you to talk to you is a wonderful thing, and it's a very beautiful thing that you're doing, and I thank you very much for everything that you're doing. Why do you think that Asheville, North Carolina, was the place for this? The place for the Ask Lizzie project.
That's just where I was. That's just where I was. I mean, Asheville is definitely a very, very special place.
Yeah.
I was gifted with the soul of my daughter and the the incoming motherhood very shortly after moving to Asheville. It was like a little under 3 months that I got to Asheville, and then, dove into being a full-time mom. And so I wasn't about to leave Asheville because I'm committed to her, and the people in Nashville are awesome. But so why Asheville? I was like, well, why not Asheville?
Yeah.
And that's where I was in the moment,
Yeah.
So, yeah. It's an interesting comment. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I would like to hear what you have to say.
Well, you made the statement of it's an interesting world to be living in a shift, and the shift in perception is actually an amazing gift because it's always in every moment, and there's not like a growing precipice of it's fully accessible in the moment, in and now, every second. Yeah. And the idea is, full of thoughts, and thoughts manifest our reality. Well, it's thoughts that come from the heart. A shift in perception being quite literally without thought, without the mind, without all of that, and truly, authentically walking through your own open heart. And it's not at all easy, but it is fully accessible and can happen instantly. I mean, you can be in that bliss all the time. So the key is to just to be there and to release the conditioning that you need any kind of external stimulus for that. So.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's shifted. We already shifted. It's shifted. This is it. This is what we've got. Be in the now. And I love that bliss. It's a truly freeing feeling.
Very much so. So one of the things for myself personally that has come after the shift or shifting, whatever you want to call it, was the planetary alignments and how they affect our energy. It's something that I'm starting to get more into. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to go to Benjamin Bernstein's astrology forecast for the week.
Absolutely. I love Benjamin.
Okay, so we will be back in about 5 minutes.
This is Benjamin Bernstein with astrology highlights for the week of February 24th, 2014. We have a very packed week, so we have a lot to cram into a very short time. On Tuesday, February 25th, we have a Pluto-Chiron sextile. This means that the planet of transformation and change and death and rebirth is connecting to the planet of healing and mentoring. Now, this is actually a connection between these two that is going for several more years. This is just a momentary intensification. So what it means is we've got long-term opportunity to release what doesn't serve us and move into more powerful healing and mentoring opportunities. Chiron's in Pisces, the sign of the divine energy. So inviting the divine in to help you heal is a great strategy during this time. On Wednesday, February 26th, we have Jupiter square Uranus, heating things up. There's a long-term pattern in the sky for 5 months, January through May. It's called a T-square with Jupiter, Uranus, and Pluto. And the effect of these three guys is very much intensified revolutionary transformation. I'm sure you're feeling it in the air this year. And when Jupiter and Uranus square exactly here, it's an intensification of everything Uranus represents, which is intuitive flashes popping in really strongly and the urge to be your own authentic self. Flip it over, Uranus's effect on Jupiter is a sudden insights around how you can be more authentically true to what the meaning of life is for you, to walk an authentic spiritual path. If you're getting intuitive flashes, which is how Uranus communicates around the meaning of life, your religious path, it's a great thing to take note of right now. Jupiter's also in the sign of Cancer, the sign of family, so you may be getting paradigm shifts on how you can bring more harmony to how you relate with your family. Friday, February 28th, Mercury turns direct. That's happening at 9 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time. So finally, we're done with that. It's a better energy now to begin major new projects or make major purchases. On Saturday, March 1st, we have a new moon in Pisces, and a powerful new moon it is. Any Pisces new moon is ideal for new beginnings in the areas of spiritual union practices, divinely inspired creativity, and flowing love and light to others. Lots of intense aspects to this new moon, especially Neptune and Chiron, either side of the sun and moon here in Pisces. Neptune adds a strong spiritual flavor even beyond what Pisces normally has. Chiron, as I mentioned earlier, is about healing and mentoring, so his energy gets strong again. So a great time for new beginnings here on March 1st as this new moon kicks in at 3 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time for spirituality, divinely inspired creativity, healing, divinely inspired creativity. Again, I'll mention that twice. It's important. Those are great things. There's other aspects to this new moon as well, but no time to talk about them. You can always learn more by going to astroshaman.com and checking out my printed webcast on the web, well, printed on the screen anyway, or listening to my podcast This Week in Astrology. We're still got more to talk about. On March 1st, which is Saturday still, Mars turns retrograde. This is going to last 2.5 months until May 19th. Good time to reflect on how you're using assertiveness, sexuality, and aggression. How effective are you being as a leader, warrior, or pioneer? And this retrograde's entirely within the sign of Libra. Fresh insights are available to contemplate how you're using these Martian themes and how they're affecting your relationships and creative expression and harmony and balance. Last week I had a rather lengthy bio. I've trimmed it down to about 30 seconds, so here we go. I have done about 5,000 client sessions and host iTunes #1 astrology podcast, This Week in Astrology. My free offerings include the weekly Astro Shaman News email newsletter featuring my in-depth astrology forecast and invocations for healing and awakening. My services, which include shamanic healing, astrology, and awakening activation, are just as powerful long distance as in person. You can learn more at astroshaman.com and can contact me at info@astroshaman.com or 828-338-9852. Thanks for listening.
Okay, thank you, Benjamin. As always, another beautiful forecast. Retrogrades and things like that, I've never really understood much about them, but I'm really starting to feel the energy that is really being affected by the alignments of these planets. So, again, Benjamin, thank you so much. astroshaman.com will have a link up in the description, so check them out. Back to the conversation with Liz. We were talking about Ask Lizzie, her organization in Asheville, North Carolina. So what is your main mission or objective for the Ask Lizzie project? You still with us?
Yes, I'm still here. Sorry, I was just
okay.
processing that question because the main mission is to grow and expand in love and kindness, and mindfulness, and have this is going to sound really broad, but live in a more loving and free world. And that's with one person at a time in whatever modality inspires. And that's the mission, is to be in love with life and to be inspired and fired up by that and passionate about that. So in direct manifestation, a more grounded way, that's, right now it's a website, and soon it is already events and metaphysical and spiritual retreats and festivals, things like that, things like 3DL that was such a gift to be a part of. That's the mission and the vision. Philemon, I have a question for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know why the sky is blue?
Do I know why the sky is blue?
Yes, sir.
There may be a few answers for that. One could be scientific answer, like the atmosphere the way the sun reflects off of the magnetic field around Earth. But
Yes.
I think we collectively made the sky blue just because it's a very calming color, and if we're all ungrounded or if we're stressed out or whatever, we can just lay down and stare up at the sky and chill out.
Wow. Cool. Yeah, I love that. The mention of, I ask people that all the time. I don't usually get, well, the collective consciousness made it so.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore that. I love that. What can we do with a collective consciousness?
Right.
What can we do with a specific intention of millions of people? Yeah, I love that. I asked the question because the answer is it's not. It's not. It is only received that way because of the frequency of the vibration and the resonance of the wavelength of blue, and the way that our eyes and our rods and cones receive that, because it's the only color that from the sun, or the only wavelength from the sun that actually gets through our atmosphere. So you were correct in saying it. That's the only color that actually comes through. So, however, that being said, all the colors are present. All of it is, all of the white light from the sun is present. We're just receiving and perceiving that one wavelength. So I asked the question, what if we were to be truly living in love at every given moment? What would the perception be then? And can we use and utilize the free will between your center and my center to collectively understand and better understand where we're going as a human species? Because it's so important. The collective consciousness mentioned there is just awesome, Philemon. It's great. It's good.
Yeah, I'm glad I could do that for you. I just have... No? Okay. Well, I thank you so much for saying all that. And for asking the question. Caught me a little off guard, but I'm glad I could answer it the way that I did. That's...
Yes, yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say that...
Go ahead, I was just laughing.
Yeah, it's okay. It is a good question. Like, what can we achieve when the collective consciousness is together and organized, and we're organized on what we're manifesting as a collective here on Earth? So I just wanted to say that we have about 2 more minutes, and then I'm gonna cut over to Cashy's song. So I guess I just wanted to ask you maybe one more question. What keeps you motivated to be doing this?
Yeah, motivation. That's an interesting question. I wrestle with that a little bit myself, actually, and just have learned a lot about that lately, because I ask myself, okay, well, is it destiny? Is it my free will? Is my life part of an ever-evolving, already programmed sequence of events, and predestination and free will? That conversation comes into play for me with motivation. And if it's all planned out, then where is the motivation? Well, it's in the love. I mean, it is what drives me every morning, is to live in an ideal world where our needs are met, and then from that groundedness of having my core needs met, using that energy to evolve on a soul level, and yeah, that's the motivation right there, is to be truly happy and free, and to share that with other people, because by being that, you allow people to come forth, and everyone being 110% of their fullest actualization is the goal. So the motivation in inspiring other people to do the same thing, and to maintain that for myself as well.
Right.
And to find the good in it.
Yeah, I was curious as to how you can be motivated to do, what did you say, 46 events in how many weeks?
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. That's Paradito and Rasamahi are amazing sound healers, internationally renowned sound healers and musicians, and I've been helping them plan their tour. Their newest album is called Attuning to Oneness, and they are touring the Southeast. So it's 42 events in the next 9 weeks that we've collaborated on, including one in Asheville on April 5th, if you want to come.
Very beautiful. Well, thank you for inviting me. I would like to get a link of that so I could put it in the description. So, Liz, thank you so much for coming on here and joining me in conversation today. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, Philemon. It's my pleasure. Yeah.
Thank you. You can find out more at AskLizze.com. That's ask, LIZZE.com. Or you can contact her at AskLizze@gmail.com. I'm going to end the show today with a song by Cassie Newell. It's called Friday the 13th. So thank you all for listening and have a great rest of the week.